Hey guys, welcome to another episode of Scruffy the Gamer. I'm Scruffy. I'm just here to talk about the Switch, show off the games that I have, and just give my general opinion of each one. If I haven't played it, I'll be honest. And if I have played it in depth, I didn't like it, I'm going to tell you. And then obviously, the good ones I'm going to gush over. So we're going to start pretty simply. First of all, if you hear rattling, that is currently the pipes doing some laundry. I probably shouldn't have started that while I was going to shoot the video. But I do apologize for that little distraction. So the first one I've got is Starlink Battle for Atlas. Now this did come in the starter pack with Star Fox, the figure, the ship, and all that. Got the code, used it, been playing as Star Fox. I've actually enjoyed this. Sorry, kitty. I actually been enjoying this game, but I admit I haven't played a lot of it. It doesn't hold your attention. It is decently fun, but I almost prefer using the Pro controller over this, and that usually means I can't have the kids because they're constantly stealing my Switch while using the Pro controller and all that. So I'm going to have to give this a little bit more of an in-depth look. It is, like I said, so far it's been a lot of fun, but we'll have to see how far it goes and, all that. So second one is Mario Rabbids Kingdom Battle. Now, to be honest, I like the art style. I like the rabbits. I'm not all that over the hill or over the moon about this game. I don't mind strategy games. I don't mind kind of turn-based games, but this one I can't get into for some reason. And I know a lot of people either really like this or really hate it. I'm kind of in the middle. I don't find it all that fun, but at the same time, I'm willing to play it every now and then just to give it a try. So I don't know. I can't. I have to play this a little more to get a better sense of what the game's like and how to play it and whatnot. So we'll see. I may give this a second try. I also picked up this Five Nights at Freddy, the Core Edition. Now this is Five Nights at Freddy 1 through 4, and then the Sister Location collection. I ended up picking this up for like super cheap at a I believe it was a GameStop or no, it was Walmart when they were having that big sale on all the video games. I think I picked this up for like $5, maybe $10. And to be honest, not a big fan. I know these Five Nights at Freddy games are really enjoyed. A lot of people really like them, but to be honest, I'm not a fan of them. I've been kind of stuck on the first game for quite a while, and to be honest, I'm not enjoying it. I know that's probably sacrilege to a lot of people, but I'm not enjoying it. So, yeah, I don't know if I'll go back to that one or not. Next one is Sonic Forces. Now, this was an interesting concept where pretty much Sonic loses to Dr. Robotnik. Then a new group of heroes have to go out and try to either team up with Sonic or save Sonic or whatnot. I haven't got too far in this. I really am enjoying it. It's a decent game. I've never really excelled at the Sonic games, but I am willing to play this one again. I do find it enjoyable. It's just, right now I'm currently working on a lot of other games to play through before I actually go back to this one. So I have Ghostbusters, the video game, remastered. Now I do like this one. I do find it that you would almost need the platform so you could use the big TV. Some of the levels are rather hard to see all the details that you need to see Besides that, I'm loving the game. I'm really enjoying it. I just wish it was a little easier to see on some levels because it does zoom out or it zooms in way too far, and then you have to literally constantly turn to see what is going on. And sometimes you don't even know where you are. So that is one of the bummers about this, but I enjoy it. It is fun. I love the Ghostbusters, so glad to have that one. I also picked up this one, SNK Heroes Tag Team Frenzy. For a fighting game, it's a lot of fun. It's really enjoyable. I admit the anime is probably what got me. The anime style characters is what got me. It definitely does a lot for fan service. But it's a pretty decent, solid fighting game. It's a lot of repetitiveness. You can customize your characters. You can customize the costumes and all that, which is pretty cool. But it gets boring at some point in time. You know, I haven't even tried to go through this story. I'm just pretty much fighting just to get like the different costumes and so on, and it is what it is. I also admit I'm not the biggest fight, like Street Fighter or Mortal Kombat or Virtual Fighter fan, because I've always kind of sucked at fighting games. So this one, to be honest, I haven't played, but it is Goosebumps the game. I think I picked this up for like $5. I haven't heard a lot of good things about it, but I am a huge Goosebumps fan. I collecting the books. I like playing the games. I just haven't got around to playing this one. Like I said, I've had a few others in the queue that were a little farther up on the list that I wanted to play before I got into this, but I am looking forward to playing this. Really looking forward to enjoying it. So, also, this one, Mega Man 11. I love the Mega Man characters, the storyline, and all that. I really am not good at the game. But all said and done, I'm enjoying this. Some of the speed runs of this is absolutely insane. Picking up different weapons has always been kind of a feature. You beat a guy, you get his weapon, you get his power, and you have to beat him in the right order and all that. So really am enjoying this. It's just, I'm not very good at it. I'm not a man. Probably one of my biggest ones that I picked up, or I wanted to pick up for this system, and I admit it's probably one of the ones I'm a little more disappointed in, because again, you need that that giant screen to see where you're shooting. You need to see where you're aiming at, especially for like the sniper rifle and stuff like that. But Warhammer Bolt Gun is a lot of fun. I love that. I love how you don't have a health bar in this. It's your rage that keeps you going, and that definitely goes into like the lore of Warhammer and all that. But yeah, I'm finding that I'm getting shot from across the room, and the enemy is really, really small, and you can't even see it until you get somewhere closer. So again, I think a bigger screen, that actual junction, which I don't have one of those, the docks. The one I bought, or the Switch I bought, didn't come with it, but just a lot of fun game. Just I need to get one of those docks to actually be able to use the TV screen that I have and be able to see it a little bit better. So now, we already talked about Mega Man, and here's a game that pretty much has Mega Man written all over it. It's pretty much the same fighting style, the same playability and all that, and it is Gunvolt, the Striker Pack. This game is just a lot of fun. Again, I admit I'm not very good at it, but I find myself going back to this more and more. I love the artwork, I love the characters, and the playing and the enemies are really cool. Definitely love watching these or playing these games, and hopefully one of these days I'll get the actual like jumping, shooting, side scroller down, pat. So I also have Azure Lane. I like this one quite a bit. The story is really good. The idea that each girl is can transform into like a ship, a sea ship, and fight aliens. That's always fun. The actual fighting mechanics is really, really good. One of the things I don't like is there's a lot less fighting and more of a story. You're sitting there scrolling through, reading every single one, and yet I think I've been, 2 or 3 hours into this game, and I've only been through one battle. And the rest has just been talking, and, if you end up dying at a certain point or quitting at a certain point, you have to go back and read all that dialogue again. It gets a little frustrating. It's very heavy on the dialogue, a lot less action, and I wish it was like they fixed it and made it equal. So that was the only complaint I had about this one. Definitely worth the pickup. Not that expensive. Worth it. Next two, I'm going to combine these two because I haven't played either of them. I picked them up mostly because of the art style. One is right up my alley. I love like Godzilla. I love Pacific Rim. I love King Kong, all that stuff. All the kaijus, the monsters, the sentinels, the Jaegers, and 13 Sentinels, and Regis Rim was right up there. I do foresee that this is going to be a lot like Azure Rim, and I think it's going to have a lot more dialogue and a lot less fighting. I do know that the combat is going to be strategy based, turn style, all that. So I'm a little wary of actually starting this one, but I definitely want to grab it. And then the other one I'm pairing with it is Fury Blade, or Blade of Fury. Yeah, Bladed Fury. I picked this one up just for the art. It is a side scroller, which I find side scrollers do the best on the Switch. If you give too much detail to a world, you're bound to miss something. You're bound to have to go back and figure out where something is, or you're going to lose your character. So definitely looking forward to playing this one as a side scroller, and I believe this one was like $8, so not a bad price for a video game. Definitely looks like a lot of fun. This next one is actually the only one I've ever beaten out of the entire Switch collection, and I've got to say, for my first video game of this character, besides the really, really OG on GameCube or on Game Boy, I'm going to say this was a lot of fun. I hope there is more of these, and it's definitely worth the pickup, and that is Kirby and the Forgotten Kingdom, or Forgotten Land. I love this game. This game was so much fun. I can't believe this was actually the first Kirby game that I've ever beaten. I did play the old Game Boy. I think it was like the first one, for like a day. One of my friends lent it to me. I had to give it back real quick. Never did find it again. Never did play any of the other Kirby's games, but this one I picked up on just to see if it was going to be worth it, and man, was it worth it. The imagination, the just love that they show, the pink blob, from Smash Brothers is amazing. I did a full-on review of this game, so if you want to go back to that video, it will be in games that I beat, or game reviews that and it's definitely worth a look and definitely worth a play. I love this game. So now I just picked up this one not too long ago. I actually picked up the Switch early this year, actually a little late in the year, I think it was like June or July, I ended up picking up the Switch. And this is one I've been wanting. Obviously, it's one you've got to have, and that is Mario Kart Deluxe 8. Now, I will say, out of all the Mario Karts, this one seems to be one of the easier ones. Even with like the new weapons and all that stuff, and all the new ways you can do, distract or cause a player a little bit of damage. I found this to be the easiest out of all of them. The Wii was the easiest before this one, and I gotta say this one's not much better. I still consider the GameCube Mario Kart's Double Dash, where I got the Double Down Challenge name from, to be the best. It is the fastest, it's the hardest levels, and I love the dynamic of the two characters. I really wish they would have kept that in a lot of the other different versions that came after that. But this one, a lot of fun, enjoyable. You got to have Mario Karts, especially if you have a handheld. This is just a easy, mindless way to kill a couple hours. So, I did pick this one up again not too long ago. It is Donkey Kong Country Freeze, or Tropical Freeze. I'm sorry. I did want to get this one back when it was on the Wii U. Never decided to actually get into the Wii U until just recently when I found a Star Fox game at a thrift store. I picked it up. I'll probably end up picking up a Switch or a Wii U, but I wanted to get this one. I wanted to play it. I love the original Donkey Kong Country. It's definitely one of the staples for the Super Nintendo, and just to see this one and how you can combine the characters and all that was a lot of fun. I played it a little more last night, in fact, and yeah, it's good. It's a lot of fun, very, very enjoyable, and Donkey Kong is my favorite Nintendo character, so I had to grab this. So, down to the last two, but to be honest, they're my favorites out of all of them. This one is one that I just picked up, obviously for the artwork and all that, but I was surprised at how good the game is. I have to admit, I'm a little stuck on one of the levels, and learning the gameplay and like all the nuances and rules and all that has made this game a little bit challenging, but I still find it a lot of fun, and that is Death and Request. I love the story to this, the characters. Obviously, anime was always probably one of the factors for most of the games that I buy for the Switch. So it came from my FIDF factory, and it's just a lot of fun. It's pretty much about a game developer who goes missing for 3 years. She ends up waking up in a game. Her friend, who has already pretty much mourned her, buried her, and walked away, finds out that she's logged into this game, and he's trying to figure out where her body is because it sucks on the consciousness into the game, much like the Sword Online did. And you're just trying to help her get through it because if she dies in the game, she dies in real life. And that is one of the funnest parts of this game. I do know that there is a sequel to this. I am going to be looking for that. I don't know if it's been released in the States or not. I know I've seen it on eBay, though, and I believe that was a Japanese copy. So still a lot of fun, very enjoyable, and a lot of great artwork. And a very good story, I've got to say. So this one is probably my most expensive one and probably one of my favorites out of everything, and that is Super Bullet Break. I did end up getting the special edition or the day one collection. This came with like a booklet, DVD, comic book, stickers, all that stuff. I ended up ordering this from Japan. It does translate into English as soon as you put it in, it's definitely worth picking it up. The art style is pretty much the same as you would expect. It does remind me of the Quintessential Quintuplets series that I recently enjoyed, or Gamer Girl or something like that. I forget what that series was called, but definitely a lot of fun if you're into RPGs and turn style fighting and building up a team through picking cards and whatnot. This is a game for you, and to be honest, it's so worth it. I truly enjoy this. I do think it's a little harder than it should be, because I think I've only made it to like the second level. Now, either I'm very bad at games, likely, or this game is just a little bit overly hard. And but if you like a challenge, it's definitely worth it. It's definitely worth the collection adding. And I think this one has, I think it's only like 30 or 40 bucks. They will charge you a little more being Japanese, but it still works. Well, guys, that is it for the Switch. So far, I admit I am either I'm choosing games that don't work well with the Switch, or I need to start playing with the dock and all that stuff on the larger TV. I'm not all that impressed with the Switch. I do enjoy it. I haven't had a handheld in so long. I think it was, last one I had was except for the PSP, which I bought 1 hour and then took it back the next hour because I just could not get into it. The last handheld I had was a color Game Boy, and I had maybe one or two games. So to actually have a game that I can take pretty much anywhere and play really some decent games, some not so much, but a library of games is pretty cool, very sweet. I enjoy that aspect of it, but again, it's just finding the right games to play. So, well, guys, that is it. That is my Switch collection, a bit of a review on the Switch itself. I will be doing these. I know I did the Super Famicom. I know I did I think I did the NES, and I did the Super Nintendo. I could do a few more of these game collections where I show you guys what I have right now. And, maybe you'll find games that you will want to play, or games that you didn't know existed, or games that you just forgot about and went, oh yeah, I remember that game, I need to get that. That's one of the biggest things I love about watching people's videos of their collections and all that stuff, is they pull out a game you never knew existed. I watched one, and now I watched one, he pulled out Last Story. Now I'm currently on the hunt for that one. So that one was for the Wii. Definitely one of our Canadian YouTubers or game hunters. So, well, hopefully you guys have a good night. Thank you for watching. If you like this video, please hit that like button. If you want to subscribe, please do. I'm always willing to welcome new subscribers. If you guys have any questions about games that I'm looking for, or stuff like that, or games that I review, or you just want to talk about normal day video games, movies, and action figures, I'm down. I'm here. Just shoot me a message, and I will leave leave back a information. Speaking of which, I just recently had a question. I should have wrote down the name of the person who asked. He asked me what my favorite system was and what my favorite system to collect was. Now, I answered that a bit in just kind of the getting to know you video, but I will redo it here. I absolutely love the Super Famicom. I think there's a lot of fun, a lot of enjoyable games on there. The language barrier is a bit of a challenge, but in some games it really, really doesn't matter. And the games that I have found, the games I picked up, to be honest, only like 2 or 3 has that been an issue. So I'm definitely loving that. I admit I'm not a big fan of collecting for it because of it all having to either come from Japan or all that stuff, because the shipping and all that. Most people who sell them usually add the shipping onto the price, and that takes a $5 game because they're still making Super Famicom games, if I understand it right. They're still making them, and then they're, dumping this huge overseas fee onto it, and you may be paying $10, $15, $20 for a $5, $3, or $2 game, and it's super frustrating. So I will say that is probably my favorite to play. As far as games or systems that I'm really enjoying collecting right now, I have to admit the PS1 is growing on me. I'm liking collecting for that. I haven't played a lot of the PS1 games, and just to see the library, the volume of it, and games that you love from newer generations started there. And yeah, it's been a lot of fun. I also found out that there are some games that I really enjoyed from earlier, like Blaster Master. There's actually a second game called Blasting Again on the PS1. I am currently on the hunt for that. So yeah, I am enjoying collecting for the PS1. The other one that I am kind of getting into decent amount is the original OG Xbox. I grew up with the original Xbox. I think went from GameCube to the original Xbox, and before that I had the 64, and I really didn't have anything else because there wasn't anything. But when it came to the OG Xbox, there was just a lot of games that I never saw, I never played, I never really sought for because I was so focused on Halo and 1 and 2, and pretty much spending most of my time on those games. So now that now that I've beaten those games several hundred times over, I'm now looking at some of the other games that were out and on the hunt for those. So I am actually I just picked up a lot of 4 games that should be coming, if the guy ever sends them to me or ever hands a package to the mail. I should be getting soon, but it will have quite a few games that I don't have, which has included Halo 2. I have that remastered on the Xbox One, but for some reason I don't have the first copy. So, well, that is it. Thank you for asking those questions. Again, shoot me some more. I always love answering them. And I hope you guys have a good night. Keep on being you guys. Keep on enjoying playing video games and keep on collecting. Have a good night.